Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. So, welcome to MIA Magazine Presents So. I am your host, Nicky Gelin, bringing you intellectual entertainment. Just the soulness, the essence of Black people, the essence of blackness is what the soul represents. It's kind of like soul food, kind of like your baked macaroni and cheese, your collard greens. For me, it could be some ackee and saltfish and rice and peas. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? We pride ourselves on being the medium for the dissemination of Black cultural information within South Florida. So Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and the Palm Beaches. Join myself and my wonderful co-host every Wednesday, right here, 7 p.m., we'll be talking about fashion, culture, arts, entertainment, food, everything of that sort, and so forth. We'll also be featuring the top Blacks, musicians, artists, restaurateurs, designers, right here in South Florida. So make sure to stay tuned every Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here. And, speaking about restaurateurs, we have a featured guest. He's our first special featured guest. He is a well-known television star and restaurateur within South Florida. We'll be talking about fine dining before, during, and post-pandemic. And I think you may have probably guessed it by now. Yes, it's none other than Peter Thomas. But before we get to Peter Thomas, I kind of want to pass it over to my co-host. She is a stylist and personal shopper, none other than Christie Grace Chamber. She is president and commander in chic of I Am Chic. You can also catch her as an on-air regular fashion contributor to NBC6's show, Six in the Mix. So, Christy, what's happening right now in fashion? What kind of tips can you give us?
Nikki, hey there. There's so much going on in the fashion world all the time. But today we are talking about statement t-shirts. And why statement t-shirts? Because in the wake of continued injustice that's happening to Black people in America, people are choosing to wear their power statements and their protest statements on their t-shirts. And I love what the WNBA and the NBA are doing with their words written on their jerseys, things like say their names, say her name, justice now, just bringing attention to these things. And we can all do it. We can speak powerful messages without saying a word and letting our t-shirt say it. Because just watching me now, you can see that I stand or kneel in solidarity with Kaepernick, right? So what I'd like to do is start a slide presentation and tell you about some of the t-shirt brands that I love. Nationally, there's a brand called Mess in a Bottle. And it's so cool because the mess stands for message. So it's showing the message on the t-shirt and it comes to you in a bottle. Another designer that I like is called God is Dope. So if you're of the Christian faith, it's just a way to show how you can be cool representing God with the statement God is dope.
Oh.
Now I want to bring this a little bit locally. There is a company called Team Shin Enterprises, and it's owned by a power couple based here in South Florida, Melanie and Jonathan Shinhoster. And they, as you can see on the screen, they have power t-shirts that say "Vote Girl Dad," right? How powerful is it to be a girl dad? And not only do you find various t-shirts on their website, they're your go-to if you're looking to have a t-shirt made with whatever statement you'd like. So check them out at Team Shin Enterprises, locally based. Now let's talk about how to style these t-shirts. So here's some ideas. When you think about wearing a t-shirt, you think jeans, maybe shorts, sneakers, but ladies, let's jazz it up a little bit. Let's pair it with a skirt, maybe a skirt like this. Here's another brand t-shirt, Eternal Mindset, that's local. Pair it with like a vegan leather skirt. And I love this blue right here, Stylist J. Bolin style Tamiya, and this fab long skirt. So imagine you wearing your statement tee with a fabulous skirt like that. And here's some more ideas. Instead of just pairing with jeans, pair it with a high waist trouser, like a trouser you may wear to work. And also, you have to pair it with the big earring, like you see in the picture there. Mm-hmm. Now, for men, though, I wouldn't recommend pairing your t-shirts with dressy trousers. I mean, that's just not a good look. So men, wear your power t-shirts with jeans, khakis, and that's about it. So I want to just end by giving honor to Chadwick Boseman, who in his own right was a fashion icon. So we'll remember him for his acting, his smile, and his style. So Nicky, that's pretty much all I have for you. And everyone, I want you to stay well, stay safe, and stay chic.
Thank you so much, Christie. I have a couple of statement shirts myself, but I never thought to pair it with like a fancy skirt like Tamiya did. So thank you for that little nugget. So I can't wait to see what you have for next week. And thank you so much, and bye. So now I want to pass it over to my next co-host. She is a board certified psychiatrist, Dr. Delvena Thomas. She's an advocate for mental health awareness and is also the host for the Brain Love podcast. So, Dr. Delvena Thomas, what's on your mind? What do you have for us?
Oh, I have so much for you, and I want Christie to see. I have my empowerment tea, my HBCU love. Shout out to one of my alma maters, Morgan State University. I wanted everyone to take the couch with me tonight to just talk about grief and dying. Grief has been associated with feeling unhappy. Oh, I'm so sorry. With pain and suffering. As a little girl, I used to think how unfair the universe was for taking people I loved and for never returning them again. Stop it, Tina. Sorry, guys. Of course, with loss, grief, and dying. For some people, the loss of a relationship may feel like grief. Losing a job during COVID may have felt like grief. The loss of a long-term friendship. And for a lot of folks, grieving was a loss of Chadwick Boseman the other night, and many other Black men and women like Breonna Taylor and our nation, to useless violence, to excessive use of force by the police. Now, COVID-19 has forced us to assess how we handle stress. When the world was busy, like pre-COVID-19, Nicky, and notice I said the world because we are all in this pandemic together for the first time ever. Anyway, the world was so busy that maybe people didn't engage their stress. They were distracted by everything else they had going on. Perhaps it was ignored and replaced by something else. COVID-19 has made that nearly impossible to do, to distract yourself because we have so much time to think. Hopefully, most folks have been able to embrace all of their stressors, their losses, and try to get stronger by learning from it. I know it's uncomfortable. It's difficult to sit and engage it, to process how we feel and allow yourself to cry. But then thereafter, you got to sever the ties with the emotion and be able to move past it. So that's why I wanted to talk about grief tonight. Grief is that keen mental suffering. It's the distress over affliction of a loss. it feels like sharp sorrow. It feels like regret. It feels like disappointment. And most of all, it feels like misfortune. And so all of us are feeling some type of grief at this point of COVID-19. But Nikki, there's so much we can do about grief. And I wanted to give people some of what I recommend to my patients regarding how to deal with that grief. What do you think about that?
No, for me personally, I was literally in my bed on Friday, going through my Instagram, like late at night, and then I saw like a post, and it goes, "Chadwick, rest in peace," and I was like, "What? They lying? Whatever. That's whatever." And then when I looked further into it, he passed away. And I can honestly say to you that I really started crying because I have two little ones. I have a boy and a girl. And, yes, Chadwick Boseman, he's a human being, but he played certain characters that was so symbolic to our community.
Absolutely.
And it really hurt for me. It took me a time to kind of process, and I'm still trying to kind of process what happened. I didn't know him personally. I only knew his character personally and what I saw like him portrayed himself to be. But it definitely did really hit home, and it was so unexpected. So I understand what you're saying, and
yeah, a lot of people felt like you, Nikki. And so we have to remind ourselves that it's okay to grieve, to feel pain, to have the sorrow, to cry. It's okay. Tell yourself it's okay. Remind yourself that it's okay. Laugh. It's okay to laugh while you're grieving. People have this notion that I'm supposed to be sad. I have to cry all the time. I have to be in distress all the time, but that's not true. It's okay to still laugh and still be you. We have to love on and hug folks who are here now. Be nice to people. Give them their flowers now. Don't allow yourself also to invest all of your energy into one person, into one thing. Don't lose your identity. When folks lose themselves in another person, for instance, and when that person is no longer here, you lose many aspects of your own identity. It's difficult to deal with loss, but we can do it. Think about what happened. Talk to yourself about it. Process it with yourself. Know that you are resilient. And COVID is teaching us that. It's teaching us not to stay stuck in usual situations, but to stick and move. You got to allow time for your sadness to feel it, to process and to relinquish it and move forward. So I want to leave people with this one quote from Haruki Murakami. Quote, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Optional. Close that quote. So
wow.
This is Suicide Prevention Month. I just want people to know that. And Nikki, say brain love.
Brain love. Definitely. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Delvena Thomas. We'll look forward to your next topic for next week. And, all this talk has gotten me a little hungry, and which is a perfect timing for our next featured co-host guest. He hails from Jamaica. He's a personal and private chef. He's worked with entertainers and professional athletes. And you can also catch him on American Public TV, Taste of the Islands. So, Chef Irie, Wagwan, what do you have for us?
What's going on, Nikki? Oh my God, it's been so long. Wow. Yes. Well, the first thing I have for you, I have a cocktail. And I will be starting all my weekly trysts with a cocktail. So, cheers, everybody. I know it's happy hour. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Bless up, everybody. Yes, and today we're having a very strong lemonade. We have, lemonade with Puss's rum and extra lime and, a little tint of vanilla. Boom. Yes, it's awesome. Yes. So, what am I talking about today? So, a little bit about COVID and just, a little bit more about, extension of what Doctor was talking about. But for us in the hospitality industry, everybody knows that restaurants are having the hardest time. People in the hospitality industry are having the hardest time. And if you drive around your neighborhoods, you can definitely see, what's been happening. Restaurants are closing. Some restaurants are never going to reopen. And so that means a lot of those people that are in the industry, they're without jobs. So what I'm stressing and pleading for people to do as the cities and the states reopen. Go and visit a restaurant if you're able, and support those restaurants. I know everybody, is caught up in, oh my God, I don't want to go anywhere. Listen, for the first couple of months, I didn't even want, I was scared of my shadow, you know. But everybody, I really was. But you know what? We all had to get to a point where we had to start figuring things out. And food is my life, my knives and my hands are my livelihood. And I'm here for you, people. I am here for you. So what I want to tell you, if you're not able to go to a restaurant and you're not comfortable being, going to a restaurant, guess what? You can still entertain your guests, your family in your own home. You know what I'm saying? So you can have small parties. Yes, we're talking about, the 10 to 15 range. We start you off with cocktails for sure. Appetizers, entrees, desserts. We can have a little rentals in there. Set up the place nice. Decor, all that good stuff. So, but there are three things I want you to take to pay attention to if you're going to hire a private chef to come into your house, a personal chef, or a caterer. Now that we're doing 10 to 15 people, kind of max. So one, you want to know who your guests are. Nobody's willy nilly inviting. Okay, you John, you Mary, come over. Everybody wants to know. Who they're going to be around. These are people that you are hanging around, I guess, in general right now, because everybody now is just sticking to their peeps. So know who you're going to invite. Two, kind of have an idea what kind of menu you would like to showcase to your guests. And number three, even though there are more, these are just the three ones I want people to pay attention to. And this one, people really get aggravated about. Know your expected budget. So when we ask you, what is your budget? We're not asking you to be offended, for you to be offended. We really want to know, because once we know that, we know exactly how to help you. Okay? So if you want lobster and you can't afford lobster, but you can afford shrimp, I need to know that. Okay? I need to know that. Right? So call us, even if it's not me. There are a lot of private chefs out there right now who are catering and doing their thing. I support a lot of them. I follow a lot of them. Social media. A lot of us know. COVID. Everybody during COVID was cooking. Everybody was learning how to bake banana bread. Making pizza, chicken 500 different ways. Everybody wanted a TV show on Instagram. So
Right. All right.
yes. So, but Tasty Islands, the cookbook is out. You can get it on Amazon. So order Tasty Islands. And I just want to let everybody know, to be safe. Go out and support a restaurant, support an endeavor, enjoy yourself, keep living life, and always remember food and fire experiences. Next week, we'll have some info about, some recipes, some restaurants, some black-owned restaurants, some black-owned business. We're going to talk more food. All right? So, Nicky.
Awesome. So we look forward to your next segment next week. All right.
Food recipes.
Enjoy. All right. So now the moment we've all been waiting for, myself as well, Peter Thomas. So we'll be talking about fine dining for Bar One, Miami Beach, before, during, and post-pandemic. Peter, how you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
It's so great to see you.
Thank you.
Before we start, I do want to say that, yes, I was on your page yesterday, and I want to applaud you for just kind of being a little vulnerable with your experiences with doing your first colonoscopy.
Yes.
You know, we lost someone really special to us on Friday, and it really hit me hard. I didn't know him personally, but I just felt because of who he was and being our first superhero with Black Panther, it really hit me. And for me to kind of see that you actually videoed and you showed your experiences with doing the procedure. You're really candid. You didn't hold back at all, but you were really candid. And
Yeah.
you kind of like told us what it was like when you went in, when you fell asleep, to when you woke up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Black men, they've heard about it, but maybe that they're not serious about it.
Yeah.
But I think because of what happened on Friday, you brought more awareness to it, and I really appreciate that, because we have to be more like aware of that. And maybe with Chadwick, I don't know what happened. It could be hereditary. I don't know what happened, but I just want to thank you for just showing your heart and being candid and being vulnerable in that sense.
Yeah.
I also read the comments as well. They were kind of funny.
To be honest with you, when I recorded it, I literally just left the hospital, and I was starving because I couldn't eat. I didn't eat anything for like around 36 hours before that.
Okay.
So yeah, so I was still drugged up. If you look at my face, I was still coming down from it. But I felt the moment. The reason why I was inspired to do it, because I've been delaying it for years. It's just that
Yeah.
the thought of somebody, entering my body from that end just kind of freaked me out for a long time. And I think a lot of us Black men feel the same way. If it's not something it's not part of your lifestyle. So
Right.
when he died, I met him 3 years ago at the All-Star game in LA, and my son, went in. My partner only had one ticket, so I gave it to the kids. You know what I'm saying? And I went to the bar to wait like 3 hours until my son is completed, and he was the only one at the bar. So like he recognized me, I recognized him when we start talking immediately, and I spent at least, I would say, over an hour talking to this man. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard what happened last week in passing, I'm like, wow, he had it when I met him. That's just only 3 All-Stars before. And it's kind of crazy. And then it's funny, my another friend of mine said, yo, look, I'm doing it on Friday. He hung out too late with me on Thursday, so he changed it to Monday. When he got there Monday, he told him that I was in town, and the doctor knew who I was, and he slid me in the next day. So he kind of tell me, kind of prepare me from Sunday that, yo, I think I'm going to get you and don't eat anything. Okay, so I just stopped eating on Sunday, and it was cool. I mean, it was an experience. It literally only took the process is longer. The hardest part of it is not eating and drinking that fuel that they give you, because once you start drinking that stuff that they give you, completely flush you out, you can't leave your house for like 30 hours.
Inside the house in the bathroom.
Yeah, you got to be like 2 seconds away from the bathroom, because it's crazy. Trust me when I say it's crazy. So to me, I start reading up on it, and I find out that it kills Black men at a higher rate than anyone else. Colon cancer. And I'm like, wait up, man. I was nervous as hell, because at my age, I was supposed to get it like 15 years ago. And I'm like, damn, I might find out that I don't have that long to live just by walking in there. So I was crazy nervous. And when they came back, and when I woke up and they told me, yo, dude, we don't have to see you for 10 years. Your colon is completely clean. I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I felt good about that. And I felt compelled to just put the message out there, guys. If you have, don't think that this can't affect you. This could definitely kill you, because it's killing us at a higher rate than it's killing anyone else, our community. So we need to go out there and get this done.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And thank you for that. Yeah, and it's kind of scary too, because we know the procedure is kind of scary by itself. So just thank you for being candid, for making yourself vulnerable, and for bringing more awareness. So that's one thing I want to just thank you for.
Yeah, I decided after COVID, I'm just gonna, anything happen, anyone that I could put out any PSA, anything like that, I'm just gonna let the world know. You know what I'm saying? Because
there you go.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Exactly. Nicky says YOLO. Just go ahead and put it out there. Exactly.
Definitely.
So let's get right into it. So, okay. we know you as a larger than life star in the national spotlight, you know, as a TV, a television star.
Yeah.
And, you know, you owned a couple of restaurants in the past, and most
Yeah.
recently, Bar One, Miami Beach, opened last year, September.
Yeah.
So how has the transition been from being like in the national spotlight to not being solely focused on your restaurant locations? Because I know you're my and I see recently Maryland, Baltimore is about to open up really soon. So yes, so how has that transition been?
Yeah. Well, you know, like I did this restaurant stuff back in '96 when I opened Savannah Restaurant on South Beach, and that was probably a huge deal because, you know, like it was probably the hottest restaurant in the country. When you had Oprah Winfrey and Gail and Stedman and the whole family spending New Year's Eve with you, you know you got a hot restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Klein. I could name so many stars that came there when we did Savannah on South Beach. I mean, it was definitely a hot spot, and I don't think I was mature enough to deal with that at that point because I was all over the place. So not even 7 months after I opened it, I sold it to the China Grill that was directly across the street from me. You know, like we were taking all these celebrities. The guy wrote a check. We couldn't refuse the check, and we kept it moving. You know, I actually went to LA to head up the Source Entertainment and Executive Producer Source Awards on UPN. You know, that's what I moved from Miami Beach to LA back then. You know, that was more intriguing to me than being a restaurateur back then. I was trying to build my resume. But coming back to South Beach with Bar One, I'm inspired because I found out that since I left in '97 to go to LA, there hasn't been another upscale Black-owned restaurant on Miami Beach. So it was like 23 years. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. The reason why I do all these venues on Miami Beach is for the fact that I know how the racist foundation that it was built on. You know, 1915 when Miami Beach incorporated as a city, until 1973, they didn't allow African Americans to live over there or even swim in the water anywhere on South Beach. You know, they give us our own beach in all over Park somewhere or Key Biscayne, but we couldn't participate on nothing on South Beach, and it didn't matter who you are. You know, from Sammy Davis Jr., it doesn't matter who you are. You couldn't even sleep over there. You would perform at the Fountain Blue with the Rat Pack, and right after the performance, he had to take himself over to Pork and Beans across the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where all the Black stars had to stay, in Overtown. That Overtown was like the spot back in the days, and we're talking about 50s and 60s. You know, when that movement was strong. You know, and to me, I never liked to hear that. Every time I hear that Black people couldn't be somewhere, I think that we need representation. And to come back to Miami Beach and find out that 23 years later, there's no upscale Black anything, and everybody's just giving their money to everyone else. You know, to me, that was crazy. Why don't we have something that could compete with others, okay, that feel like us, taste like us, smell like us? So to me, that was Bar One, and I wanted a dope location. And just so happens that we have the best location in Miami Beach, and that's because the family that I did Savannah with back in 1996, the Robbins family that owned all of the design district and all of everything. Those are the same people that I went back to that own this location and said, sure, Peter, we love you. We love what you did then. So I know you're going to do something incredible. And boom, relationship was good. I'm back. We got the hottest spot on the beach, hottest location on the beach. And Bar One is something that when you walk in there, you could hear the music. That's a vibration of your soul. You could taste the spices in the food. You know what I'm saying? And the atmosphere is bar none the best. You know,
I've seen it. Like I've stalked your pages. I've seen it, and I do want to say that I will be there for the whole fried snapper. I'm going to be there just for that.
You haven't been there yet?
I haven't been there.
You are the reason why I created this masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? So you have to come and chill with us. I did this, and I know it's going to sound crazy when I say this. I built Bar One, and just like I've done all the restaurants and bars and nightclubs in my career, for my community. So, you know, if others buy into it, that's great, because, you know, like,
Yeah.
we're a community that been trampled on for 400 years plus, you know, so and still would turn the other cheek. So everyone is invited, but I specifically do it for people like you and mine, to be honest with you. And when you stepping out, you don't have to go and deal with people that don't think like you, don't feel like you, don't look like you. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why I did it.
Understood. No, and
With
that's awesome.
with no apologies whatsoever, by the way.
No, that's fine. And that brings me to my next question. So, you know, the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even like saying the name pandemic, but and then cases in Miami-Dade County were increasing, and then the mayor decided to kind of shut down indoor dining. So outdoor dining was still allowed, but indoor dining was totally just shut down. So
Yeah.
the announcement was made. What went through your mind? Like, did you panic? Because Bar One, Miami Beach, literally opened up in September. We're now in March, and this whole thing is like unraveling. So, did you panic? Were you
Well,
apprehensive?
I
Like,
didn't.
what went through your head?
I didn't panic. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't panic. I mean, like, I felt bad for the people that didn't have outdoor space. Because if you're a restaurateur,
Ooh,
you put all your investment into this project because you're passionate about it, and then turn around, this pandemic came, the curfew came, and you have no outside space. So the outside space that you're allowed to use, it could only equate to 1/4 or 1/5 of what you're supposed to be making. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself, how are you going to pay your bills? You know, and if your space, if you don't have enough employee and blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying, you didn't get enough PPP money, you didn't get enough for the SBA. It's like a short leash. Then you know you're going to come back to the same situation, and you're probably going to close and lose all your money. So I feel really really bad for those people. Where we got lucky is that I took a risk on a space that had 5,000 square foot on the inside, and actually 7,000 square foot wraparound patio on the outside. So when they say that, we just flip the script and put 120 seats outside, and that's a full scale restaurant. A lot of restaurants can't even sit that many people, you know, and our people came. Our people came, and, you know, like, when I thought we were going to die, we got life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got life. You know, like, you know, we're not where we need to be, because, you know, you don't make profit on food. You know, you make profit on alcohol. You know what I'm saying? And our bar is closed. And even now, with them allowing us to do 50% inside, your bar area is still closed. You know, and that's where you do 200, 300, 400 markup is at your bar. You know, and people usually, the bar scene is on Miami Beach is monster. You know, sitting down and eating, and, you know, we're not selling 4,000 or 5,000 500 bottles of wine. You know, we're not there yet. You know, we don't have bottle service like crazy, because people, when they do bottle service, they want to be in a situation where it's upbeat. And, you know, boom, 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 you know, the music is crazy and everybody's having fun. We're not that type of establishment. There's certain things that my DJ is not even allowed to play, for the fact that I am trying to keep this thing polished and smooth, that the likes of you and your girls and all your girls and friends could come over and chill and have a real dope upscale restaurant to, you know, and have that blackness, that black excellence experience.
Fine dining, black excellence. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we spoke about, like, so some establishments, you know, unfortunately, they have to permanently close down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what makes Bar One Miami Beach so special is that it's one of the fewer black owned fine dining establishments in Miami Beach.
It's in Miami, not just Miami Beach, in Miami.
In Miami, period. And I think that's so special within our community.
Yeah.
So because of what was happening, a lot of restaurants had to become really creative in surviving and thriving. Mm-hmm. And because of that, Peter's Patio became into inception.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
7,000 square foot of space. So Peter's Patio actually launched in July, I want to say mid-July.
Yeah.
So how has that response been with Peter's Patio?
Well, I have never put my name on anything like that. Never my personal name. But this young lady that I just hired, that like, she has so much energy. She said, you know what we should do? I said, what should we do? And she's like, we need to call this Peter's Patio, because you got all these housewife fans coming here, and everyone come, regardless if you're here or not. Is Peter here? Is Peter here? They call, is Peter here? You know what I'm saying? So we need to make it Peter's Patio, and like, I want you to do it with red neon, and everybody's going to be taking pictures at that grass wall. And she was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best idea win. So I went along with it. I was kind of shy about it at first, but like, Peter's Patio is a hit. I can't front.
Wait, you shy? I don't see you being shy, but okay.
I am. I'm a loner, and like, I am shy, but when I'm out, like, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So I got to entertain.
Okay, so introvert versus extrovert, it all depends on where you're at, right?
Exactly, exactly. That's actually spend more time by myself, and I kind of like it like that. But when I'm out, and when I'm at that restaurant, I have to turn on, because people, people come from all over the Miami Beach to visit,
See. Well, so indoor dining resumed, thank God, on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. So the mayor approved indoor dining officially on Monday. There is still some guidelines in place, like 6. I think the 6 is max capacity per table as far as indoor dining.
Yeah.
So what is Bar One doing to kind of prepare and kind of maintain the safety guidelines, even with indoor dining that took effect on Monday? Literally 2 days.
Well, we do, but our people try us all the time. Our people be having a party of 30, and they know that they know we can't do it. And then they'll pull all kind of tricks out. Then they'll come back and make 5 reservations. And when they come there, they want to move the tables and the chairs around because they want to be together. So that's the only challenge we have, is try to keep that in check, for the fact that we're in a building talking about racism and talking about Black Lives Matters and all of that. We're in a building right now where that space before I got it was vacant for 2 years and 7 months, I was told. And we went in there and we did our thing to make it beautiful. And the building, of course, Miami Beach don't have 1% Black people living on Miami Beach. And that building, I think the condos starts at 800,000 plus. So the association, they want to make sure that their value go up. And we had a corner. I picked that because the corner where we at, you really don't see us on the front. And when you walk in, it's kind of a wow factor. And, when you walk through the sliding door to be on the patio, wow, you're looking at Star Island and downtown Brooklyn and downtown. So it's beautiful. And our people come to support us in droves. And then the building kind of got funny and start saying, oh, we cater to the worst type. They're saying all kind of stuff. So our we have to, of course, my lawyers are Black also, you know what I'm saying? So, and one of the top firms. So we have to unleash on them just to let them know we don't support any kind of racism, and we're not going to tolerate what you guys did for 57 years over there on Miami Beach with Black people. So step down. So, so we go through all kinds of stuff being the only upscale Black thing on Miami Beach. We are, as a community, we like to run to other people's establishment and make it explode, make it the hot spot. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when we have our own thing, we don't see them running to us the way we run to them. Yeah, and it's cool with me because everybody that come in my place is as beautiful as you are. You know what I'm saying? So we love it like that.
And I did see on one of your recent posts, you did post that you don't condone any kind of racism, whether if you are Black, Jewish, if you're part of the LGBTQ community. So I did see that as well. So I do see that you are embracing everybody of every walks of life.
Yeah, and I was a little shady with that post because that housewife shade, because those fabulous white gentlemen that you saw in that photo, they all spend New Year's Eve with us. And there's a couple of them that's on the board that want to come back and stab us in the back right now. So I make sure that I put them in there because most of them, if not all of them, are gay. You know what I'm saying? So if you are prejudiced towards towards your community, you know what I'm saying, we don't want you to bring it back to our community. So it was kind of checkmate.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
With that
and
culture.
this is a great question to kind of segue in. So I know that back in like 1988, you were
Yeah.
like one of the first pioneers to open up the first Black club in Miami Beach, and
Yeah.
you did experience some form of racism.
Mhm.
I know that you have some alliances, for example, Luke, that you
Yeah.
worked to kind of combat that and
Yeah.
build more Black establishments for the Black community.
Mhm.
So let's fast forward 32 years later. We
Yeah.
have 401 Miami Beach, which
Yeah.
is thriving, and it brings in everybody from every background, every race, every ethnicity.
Mhm.
So back in the late 1980s, do you feel that there's progress being made from Miami Beach as far as racism from back then to where we are right now?
Yeah, I would say absolutely zero. You know what I'm saying? I would say none. There's no progress whatsoever.
Okay.
Those people still don't like us. You know what I'm saying? They just pretend they do. To be honest with you, I would say none. And I would say the only reason why we could do things because like I love the licking. You know what I'm saying? That's Eric's spot, E-class spot. Yeah, the licking is over there, and I support it. And when you walk in there, everybody that was somebody in the Black community, and I call DJ Khaled, I call him Black also. You know what I'm saying? You know, you'll see their name up in the licking because they did their thing, and I love Eric for that, and I love what he's doing across the board. You know, but you have to know how to play the game when you're on Miami Beach because you know I'm Jamaican. I would say men are like them and them not like me. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just from my community. And that's what I stand for. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's zero. They haven't grown at all. I would say there's certain community that experience it just as bad as we did, which is the Jewish community. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people didn't know from 1915 to 1949, the Jewish community wasn't allowed to live anywhere north of 5th. So when you get on Miami Beach, okay, the Jewish slum, as they call it, was from 5th to where Smith Lewinsky is, right on the edge of South Beach.
I know where that is, yeah.
They weren't allowed to live anything north of 5th. And I remember going into a bar, a club that I created, Zeno and Barcode back in 2000. And I remember going into there before I opened 5th Street in 1988, just to check out the space and the plumbing and all of that. And I saw a sign that says, no Jews, no blacks, no dogs. All right. And it was still up in this bathroom, and the space weren't used for like probably 27, 28 years. You know, remember Miami Beach in 84, when I first got down there, was old Jewish people sitting in those fold-up chairs, looking, you know, at the sunset or whatever they were looking at. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see us in 84. You could be on the beach for a week and you probably see like 3 or 4 black men in a whole week. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was defunct, because all of that racism that they did in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s, it took a dive, and they didn't make no money for like 30 years. So when I was talking to my landlord about it, and Scott Robbins, he's Jewish, and you know, the love that he has for our community is so strong, and that's why they're doing so well too, the family, because that's who they are. You know, he never said he don't want to rent me. As a matter of fact, I have 5 locations on Miami Beach, and all 5 locations was with the Robbins family. You know, so they were, Peter, please come. You know what I'm saying? They know I'm gonna pay my bill, and they know I'm gonna do something dope, and they know I'm gonna do something for my community, and they embrace me. The Jewish people on Miami Beach embrace me, and because they knew what was done to them, and they turn around and actually own Miami Beach right now. Something that I hope that our community could do one day. I don't think we should give up Overtown. I'm just putting it out there. I think Overtown, they didn't want it. That's where they put us in the box. And now that real estate have went up so high in Miami, they're trying to take over town as we speak. But you know, people like Luke and myself, and I would say headliners. Those guys are dope as hell. You know, Mike and Shane. People like us, Phil Lemire. You know what I'm saying? We need to go in Overtown and come up with the juke joints and come up with that dope restaurant. Like Marcus is getting ready to open Red Rooster as soon as this pandemic is over, and Red Rooster is dope.
But there's one in Oklahoma right now. Isn't
There's
there
one. The Red Rooster is in Overtown.
the Wings? Okay, yeah, okay. Got Overtown, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you
But
know
here,
Marcus Samuelson, head top chef, won Iron Chef.
oh, I
He's
know
all,
Marcus.
yeah, he's all
Yeah,
over the world. When he opened it, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And
okay.
we should go over there and support it in droves.
No, we definitely should. And you know, I do love Chopped. I'm a big advocate of Food Network. And whenever I see Marcus and my Indian girl, I'll be like, yes, because you know it's
Yes,
representation. Because you don't see a
yeah,
lot of us on Food Network. So when I see them, I'm like, yes, yes, you know. So
yes.
that's. So I want to talk about the 55-foot yacht one. Okay, let's talk about that really quick.
Yeah.
So guests can dock and dine. They can have dinner catered, and they can schedule like to you know the yacht one going into bar one, Miami Beach.
Yeah.
So is Max still 6 people? Like has it always been 6 people? I know there's like 2. There's a master bedroom and a guest bedroom and a master bathroom. So what's the capacity for yacht one?
Right now it's 10 people. Yeah,
Okay.
you could have 10 people on yacht one right now. And again, we do that because there's an explosion of this. Everyone coming to Miami, no matter where they're coming from, they want to go out on the waters and see these beautiful homes.
Right.
You can't
That's
see
what
these homes
mine
because you don't have access to Star Island or Palm Island or Hibiscus Island and or even the Venetia Causeway. I took yacht one all the way down to Coco Plum. You know what I'm saying? And you see these houses on the water and they are ridiculous. It's just out there to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? Or going down the Miami River, going down to see Spice or going down to Kiki's on the water and see, you know, the energy in Miami is it's unmatched. There's nowhere else in this world like Miami, Florida. You know, it's the best. To be honest with you, it's the best. So when people come down here, they all want to go out on the water. And we wanted to get into that game. It's a branding thing for me. So we made it yacht one, and you know you could have a full dining experience at yacht one from bar one, catered by bar one, and you could have your bottles and you don't have to come like you're going on a picnic on a boat. We could have everything there for you, and so far it's working. You know, if you guys listen out there, still have a couple of slots for yacht one for Labor Day weekend. So holla at
Labor Day, I saw that. Labor Day weekend is right around the corner.
Exactly.
So what is the best time to reserve it? Like brunch or dinner? Like what do you suggest is the best time?
Right now we're.
Oh, what happened, Peter? I think we.
Could you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yes, yeah.
Right now we have a special where we're giving like a 2-hour excursion, full dinner. You know what I'm saying, for $2,000, and that's up to 6 people, and they could go out on the water. The sunset special, the most amazing sunset, is in Miami, and from bar one. And if you go out there on the sunset special, man, it's to die for. You know,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, we're putting that out there right now.
Awesome. So I know the restrictions are being lifted. The cases of the pandemic or COVID, it's cooling down, and the curfew may be lifted after Labor Day weekend because right now it's 10 p.m. So speaking hypothetically, if the curfew is lifted, do you see bar one, Miami Beach, maybe perhaps going back into their social events? Like, I know in the past you've had like Harlem Nights for Halloween, which is like literally in October. It's around the corner. You've had like Sundays on the Bay, professional network. So if the curfew is lifted, any plans on resuming any social events?
Well, the curfew being lifted doesn't mean that they're going to change the 50% on the inside.
Right.
You know,
right.
the curfew lifted. All that is saying is that the people that like to go out late night, they can now once again go out late night because, you know, like in our business, especially on Miami Beach, there's people that don't even want to arrive until 10:30. You know, so if they lift the curfew, that's going to do extremely well for all the restaurants in Miami because there's a late night crowd that just go out to have small bites. They want to drink and they want to socialize. All right, we could do that all day long on our Peter's patio. So we're hoping to lift the curfew and take it back to like with our closing time when we could close at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Right, right. So we'll see after Labor Day weekend, which is like this weekend. We'll see.
Yeah.
So we'll stay tuned for that. Okay.
They need
So
the tax dollars. They're losing a lot of money in tax dollars right now.
they need the
So
money.
they're gonna need it. They're gonna do it because they need the money.
Exactly. So I keep seeing one main dish on the Instagram page, and it's the whole fried snapper.
Yeah, that's the
Is the
chef
whole fried
special.
snapper the most popular dish on the menu?
Yeah, that and the oxtail. You
And
know,
the
because
oxtail.
you can't get oxtail for around 20-mile radius. You know what I'm saying? If you want oxtail, you got to drive all the way to Miami Gardens,
Yeah,
183rd Street.
a lot of hill where the
Yeah.
Jamaicans are.
Yeah, all the way to Lot Hill. You're right about that. So the oxtail, I was thinking, what could we do in South Beach that no one else is doing? And I'm like, wait up, I'm Jamaican. Let's do oxtail because African Americans love oxtail. You know what I'm saying? So once we put that oxtail out there during COVID, oh my goodness, we start doing a lot of Uber Eats and DoorDash and everybody that that's down there that wants something different. The
Right.
oxtail was a hit. And right after they gave us the opportunity to open up and we're on the water, we got our new chef, Chef Mario. Big ups to Chef Mario because he's killing it right now. I went to Casablanca on the water and I pick up a 20-pound red snapper. And I said, I'm going to feature this red snapper. I'm going to do something that nobody else is doing. We're going to have these giant red snapper and you could order them Escovitch style. All right. And you could feed 3-4 people. And that became a hit. And then I said, we can't do bottle service now. But when this red snapper come out, I want the lights, I want camera, I want action. And I'm telling my staff, you're going to walk this fish out there like you're selling Dom Perignon. You know what I'm saying? And it worked. Everybody wanted that now. Yeah, it's a whole production, and it's a smash. Everybody come to Bar One right now for the red snapper.
Yeah, my mouth was watering, so I'll be there on the weekend just for that whole fried snapper. Okay.
Please do. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish on the menu. I love the lamb chops. Those are dope. The seasoned right. It's crazy. Every time I go in there, I love the crispy skin red snapper. Sit on some huge grilled shrimps that sits on a bed of bok choy. You know what I'm saying? To me, that is absolutely my favorite. If I order it one more time, the chef's gonna get mad. You need to try something else, Peter. You need to try something else. I know that's what I want.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, okay. So I see dishes with influences from like Maryland and Jamaica, obviously, Nigeria. And I even saw like tostones as a side option.
Yes, that's a Caribbean thing. Tostones is a Caribbean thing.
Well, I know in Jamaica it's the sweet fried plantain, and then like in Haiti and maybe Dominican and Cuban, it's like the green fried plantain, the tostones. So
they do tostones in Jamaica. It's just not as it's just not as popular as the sweet plantain.
Oh, because I'm Jamaican.
Okay, that's what's
you
up.
But when I say comfortable and vegetable, you may hear it a little bit. But but growing up, I was only on the sweet plantain. But okay, no, that's good to hear. So okay, now what inspired these dishes from Maryland and Nigeria, and even you spoke about the tostones. So what inspired Maryland and Nigeria to make it on the menu?
Well, I mean, outside of Nigeria got over 200 million black people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Nigeria is probably some of the smartest black people on the planet, if not people on the planet, period. You know what I'm saying? And I like Nigerian food. Okay, but our Bar One menu is set up from the reason, if somebody asks you, what's your menu like? I said, our menu is island coastal, which means a little bit of the islands and then the coastal city, like Charleston, South Carolina. There's a lot of Geechee there. The Geechee people is different.
Geechee people?
They're different than anyone else. And then we'll say low country cuisine from Savannah, Georgia. So we definitely tapped into that. And then we go all the way over to New Orleans because we like them Cajun spices. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Bar One is. Bar One is a little bit of coastal cities, okay, strong Black culture, and the
Yeah.
island vibe at the same time. You know, and it works because there's nothing else on South Beach like that. Period. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
we really wanted to stand out there on our own. We took the chance and said, hey, look, everybody not gonna like us, but who like us is going to love us, and that's
right.
what it is. Yeah.
And it's so funny speaking about the Geechee people because I was gonna go because they have a festival every
Yeah.
year. They have the
Yes.
Geechee language. I learned about the Geechee people from Kamau on United Shades of America on
Yeah.
CNN. There's a
Yeah.
segment, and I saw
Exactly.
it, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go!" And every year they have a festival at the end of the year, but because of the pandemic, it was canceled. But I want to learn about the Geechee people, and they have a history with with the slave trade
Yes.
from being exported into the Barbados and then into the Carolinas, and that's how
Yeah.
kind of how they ended up there. But that's a whole nother story. So
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. You know, they ran
they don't
away.
know that.
They ran away
They're
as slave into the swampland, where
right.
the slave owners didn't want to go out there to get them, because if they go out there, chances are they're not coming back. And they speak different. You know,
The
they're
language.
African
We got the
American, but
Geechee language.
yeah, they're African American, but they sound like they're island people. You know what I'm saying? It's the strangest
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But they want to preserve their language. They preserved it. It's still
Exactly.
going. Yeah,
Exactly.
and I hear that about them. So yeah, that's
dope.
good. So what is one word or two that sums up bar one? Bar one. My is like overall selections. Like it's a fusion of what? What's one or two words that will sum it up?
It's a fusion of Black excellence.
Black excellence. Okay, like that. Okay. Now to close out, what is one thing you would tell your younger self?
Man, I wish I had more sense. Like when I was doing Savannah, and how can I be down and bringing 100,000 of my people to experience South Beach, you know. But you know what? I don't regret anything, to be honest with you. You know, it falls where it was supposed to fall. You know, like I did what I did, and God is blessing me with good health for me to keep on doing it. I just want to inspire a younger Peter Thomas that want to get into the hospitality business and feel like there's a lane wide open for him, and that he don't really have to go outside of his community to be successful. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's more important for me to teach that now. And I believe in the philosophy of each one teach one. You know, so everything that I do, I always do it projecting towards my community, to projecting towards that 18-year-old, 19-year-old that have the love for food, but feel like you said, you get excited when you see Marcus and the Indian girl on the Food Network, because they don't feature us. There's 998 of them, and then there's 2 of us. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to see a better blend in that, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right. That's awesome. And you're like an inspiration to the Black community and to what you're doing, and especially in Miami Beach. So thank you so much for being our first special featured guest.
Thank you.
I will be there over the weekend for brunch. I have to try the whole fried snapper. That's all I see. So thank you again for coming in our segment.
I'm in New York, but I'm back on Saturday. So, come through on Sunday, because we do, since you are Jamaican, on Sunday, it's Pond Bay. That's the theme. It's Pond Bay, and we play Barry Salmon. We play DeVito. So it's like African Jamaican thing jumping off every Sunday. Sanchez.
Yeah, Freddie McGregor.
You know what I'm saying?
Freddie McGregor.
Say that
Freddie
again?
McGregor.
Freddie McGregor, of course. That's the vibe. That is the vibe. It's the uptown vibe. Yeah, we'll call it Pond Bay. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for that dope Caribbean vibe, you know what I'm saying? The only one place to be is Bar in Miami Beach on Peter's patio.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I'll be stalking you on your Instagram page and your stories. Thank you again so much. Have a wonderful night.
Send me a DM that I can go ahead and start following you. Okay. All right.
Okay. We'll do.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
all right. Much love. So this show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery. So next week's guest is Latoya Stirrup. She is the co-founder of Cosmology, a company that she started with her 2 sisters to create like hair tools and hair accessories for the hair textured market, such as myself. So I'm wearing braids right now, but underneath these braids, I actually do have a textured afro. And also, I do want to point out that Cosmology they've had a few appearances on the Home Shoppers Network. So it's a really good brand. They've been really successful. And if you want to learn more, tune in next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here. So thank you so much for tuning in to our first show. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week, 7 p.m. on Wednesday.